A very warm welcome to all the students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students. Welcome to all the students of Standard 8. Today we shall study a new grammar topic in English. I request each and every student to get ready with your rough books to take the notes. Also, please note whenever you all feel it's necessary, please screenshot the particular set of slide so that it will be very helpful for you all during your exams. I request each and every student to write down the tips, the hints which will be helpful for you all during your exams. So pause the video if you all are watching this video on laptop. Pause the video and write down the important tips, facts so that it will be very helpful for you all. I promise and I'll make sure to teach you all with a great understanding. I will teach slowly so that you all will understand properly. But even it's just a one-side communication. I know it's very difficult for you all to understand grammar, but I promise you all that I will explain in the simplest manner. So I am requesting you all to take down notes whenever possible, screenshot it, pause the video, write it down in the book so that by the end of this particular video you all will get a proper picture about the topic that we are going to study. This video will consist of 3 parts because I don't want you all to get burdened, and therefore I will be doing two videos of this particular topic because this topic is broad and I don't want to rush and give you all limited information. I believe in giving quality knowledge for you all. So I request you all to please take down notes. Thank you. So today's topic for our English grammar is verb tenses. Now please don't get scared. As I have mentioned earlier, I will be doing more 2 videos to complete this particular topic. Each topic will be explained with good understanding. So today let's begin with our topic, that is verb tenses. Now first let's understand what is verb. As we have studied in the previous video parts of speech, we have also studied the work of the verb. A verb is an action word. For example, walking, sleeping, eating, dancing, talking. These all words are known or as called as verbs. So if you all think for a second, each activity that you all are doing, each action that you all are doing has a specific timing. For example, now I am talking. So I am doing something that is right now in the present. Okay. If I say I am sleeping, now think, really the teacher is sleeping while talking? No. So that particular action word must had held in the past. Okay. So each word which is there in that particular sentence, or that particular sentence tells us when this activity must had taken place. So each sentence tells us where exactly when this particular incident had taken place. So tense refers to time. Now what is time? You all know we have three types of time, that is past, present and future. Past are all the things that you had done yesterday. Present is the present situation, and future will be the things that you will do after some time or maybe tomorrow. So get this idea in your mind. A particular sentence tells us when exactly the event has taken place. So it refers to time, and we have how many time types of time? We have three: past, present and future. Now when you do a particular work, it is not possible that you will complete it in a single day. Okay, so that particular work will be completed also, it will be continuous also, or it can be perfectly completed. Okay, sometimes, say for example, a construction of a house cannot be done in one single day. Okay, it needs a lot of time to get it perfectly done. So the work of the particular thing can be continuous also, it can be finished off in a given period also, and it will take time to reach to the proper work completed day. So as I mentioned, a verb is an action word. Tenses, we have three types of tenses which refers to time, that is past, present and future. So each sentence tells us when exactly the event has taken place. But sometimes that work that is mentioned in the sentence, it doesn't tell when exactly the work will be done. Sometimes the work gets over in one single day also. Sometimes it needs a lot of days to complete the single work. Now in grammar, mostly whenever you use, there are three basic pillars of grammar. We will study that one by one so that you all will get a proper and a broader idea of what this three pillar consist. So let's know the first pillar, that is the sentence structure. In each sentence we have subject, we have verb and we have object also. So the basic structure of a sentence is first subject, then we have verb and then we have object. Now what is the subject? A subject is something on which the work is taking place. An object is something on which the work is been done, and the verb is a word on which it is talking about. For example, I eat food. Okay, I'm giving you all a simple example. Over here the subject is I, the verb is eat and the object is food. I is who on which the work is done. I. Eat is a verb. Okay, and who is doing the work of eating? On which object it is taking place? On the object called as food. I'll give you all another example. I watch videos. Now I over here is a subject. Okay, for example, Ram watch videos. So Ram is the name of a person. It is a subject. It is telling more about that particular person, subject. So subject over here is Ram. Watch is a verb. And Ram watches on what? What Ram watch? Ram watch videos. So what is the object over there? Videos. Are you all getting the difference? So whenever we see in any sentence, we find subject also, we have verb also, and we have object also. That we had studied in subject and predicate. What is exactly a subject? The subject is it tells about a particular person, particular place on which the work that has been done, and the object it connects to on which that particular subject is been experimenting. Okay, the first one was the sentence structure, subject plus verb plus object. The second, we have forms of verb. You all know forms of verb. Forms of verbs are basically words that tell exactly the event is taking place. So if the base form is eat, in the so that eat in the past will be represented as ate, and past participle eaten. Same, let's look at the second one. Do, the past will be did, and the past participle will be done. The next one, see, the past will be saw, and in the past participle we see what it is, seen. So in a sentence we get to know whether which form of the sentence it is telling us about. Past participle is the form of verb typically ending in ed in English, which is used for forming a perfect and a passive tense. For example, have you looked? So looked ed. Okay, I can give you all more examples of past participles. Hoped, broken. So verbs may have been endings like en or only t, d and n. Okay, make a note of it. Ending words can like en, ed, only t, d and n. So past participles are regular verbs adding ed to the base form. What is the base form? The word that is given here in the start, that is known as the base form. Okay, so the verb of a past participle is a regular verb which can be ended with en, ed, n. Okay, so the first one was subject plus verb plus object, and each form of verb, so in that particular sentence the verb tell us which tense it exactly belongs. If I write ate, so you all will know, okay, so this particular sentence is talking about a past. If I write eat, so you all will understand that, okay, this particular sentence is talking of current situation. Okay, now the third one is the grammatical person. You all must have observed that each sentence consists of I, you, name of a person, place, animal, thing. So they also have their own identification. For example, first person means I, me and we. Okay. Second person means only you. And the third person, as it is mentioned, he, she, they, it, that means, for example, Rohit for he, Neha for she, doctor, Sita, sun, moon, all this comes under the third person. If ever they tell you all what is the first person is I, me and we. Okay, second person is only you talking, it is only your identification. And third person can be name of a person, place, animal, thing, like Neha, Sneha, sun, moon. Okay, so three pillars of the tense grammar that we will come across. The first one is the sentence structure. It is subject plus verb plus object. So subject, as I have given you all the example, that object tells more about the subject. Okay, the object tells more about the subject, and the subject is the one which tells on which that particular thing is experimented. For example, I eat food, so I, and the work is done on the food. So now I over here is the first person talking. Okay. Second one is the base form. So in each sentence we'll have a particular verb which tells that this particular sentence belongs to which tense. And the last one is the grammatic person, the first person, the second person, and the third person, that is he, she, they, it. Okay. As you all know, we have three tense: present, past, and future. And we have four aspects, that is simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. When we take present and simple together, we get simple present. When we take present and continuous together, we get present continuous. When we take present and perfect together, we get present perfect. And when we take present and perfect continuous, we get present perfect continuous. And similar to the past and future. So we have three tenses, that is present, past, future, and four aspects, that is simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So in total we have 12 tenses. But today we shall focus only on present tense. Okay. So for now, keep aside the past and future. For now, only focus on present tense. Present means the thing that you are doing right now. And some work cannot be completed in one single day. That is known as, it will take time to complete, so it is known as continuous. It will go on and on till it reaches to the perfect destiny. Till that work is done, then only we can say it is perfectly done. Okay. Okay. Now we are studying today only present tense. So let's focus more on present tense. This is the helping verb. So whenever we see words like do, does, is, am, are, has, have, that means that this particular sentence is about present tense. If such words doesn't come, that means the sentence will be either past or future. If we get any of this word in that particular sentence, that means that this particular sentence is a present tense. For example, I have one example for you all. She does not understand English. We have the word does. So now you all know that this particular sentence is, it belongs to where? It belongs to present tense. Okay. Now, how to identify which particular sentence is continuous or perfect continuous, that we will study ahead. But for now, take a screenshot of this picture so that whenever you will get sentences like, or whenever they tell us to convert the sentence to present tense, you all have to remember these 3 bullet points. It can be either do or does, is, am, are, has and have. Do and does are mostly used in simple present tense. Okay? Is, am, are used in present continuous tense. And for present perfect, has or have. And for present perfect continuous, have or has plus been, B-E-E-N, been. So if we get a sentence which is consist of is or am or are, so y'all should understand that this particular sentence is present continuous tense. But that we will study in the later half. But whenever these particular words that are in the bullet point, do, does, is, am, are, has, have, that means that this particular sentence is a present tense sentence. Okay. Okay, as I have mentioned earlier, that some work cannot be completed in one single day, and therefore sometimes on one single day the work is done. Sometimes it needs, that work will continue for more than 2-3 days. Third, it can be perfectly done as given target, but it will need more time to complete the entire work. So whenever they tell us to change the sentence to simple present, simple past or simple future, we always have to use main verb first form. Okay, now what is the first form? That is, it doesn't need any helping word. It can stand for itself. For example, watch, eat. That is main verb first form. Whenever they tell us to convert the sentence into continuous of any present, past or future, we have to take the verb's first form, but we should add ing, that is walking, sleeping, eating, dancing. You all can see the main verb is only dance, but you are adding ing for continuous, any continuous tense. For perfect, you have to make use of main verb third form. Now what is third form? As I have mentioned earlier, ed, en. You all remember the 3 forms of verb? Yes, the past participle ed, en, nt. That words you all have to use in the verb. Okay. Now we will study one by one, so you all will understand it properly. So whenever they ask you for simple present, simple past, simple future, that time you all have to make sure that the main verb is in the first form. If they tell you all uh, to convert the sentence into continuous, the main verb should have a helping word, that is ing. And whenever perfect present or perfect past That time you all have to make use of main verb's third form, that is past participle, ed, en, t, n. So you all know how important these three pillars of grammar is: the structure, then we have the form of verb that I have just revised again, and the last one is the grammatic person. So now I hope you all won't have any confusion regarding the present tense. So present tense consists of simple present, present continuous, present perfect tense, and the last one is present perfect continuous tense. So we will study one by one, and please from now make a note of it, take screenshots whenever possible, pause the video, write it down in your rough book so that you all won't forget ever in your life. Okay? So let's meet the first aspect, that is simple present tense. Now only in simple present tense the sentence will be about habits, routine or general truth. Okay? So in simple present tense the particular sentence can consist of a habit, a routine or a general truth. Note, if the subject in a sentence is he, she, it, or if it is a singular or a pronoun, then you all have to add s in the verb form, or es is added to the base form. Now what is the base form over here? Base form over here is the verb. So whenever a particular sentence is consist of a third person, he, she, it, as I've mentioned, then we have to add es or s. If it is a first person or second person, then you all should not add es or s in the verb word. Okay, so as I have mentioned over here, subject plus verbs first form. Simple present tense is also known as indefinite tense. Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, that the main verb will have the first form. So subject plus verbs first form plus object. And if that particular sentence is of third person, then we have to add s if it is he or she. Okay, if it is he or she, or if it is singular noun or pronoun, then or else es in the base form. For example, over here see, I drink coffee every morning. I is the first person, so this over here you all should not add es in that verb. It won't come drinks. So see, the drink is standing for itself. I drink coffee every morning. Now look at the second sentence. Sean goes to the beach on Sunday. Now over here Sean is a name of a person. So see, in the verb form goes es is added. So over here in the first sentence, I drink coffee every morning. So it is telling a habit of a person. I drink coffee every morning. Sean goes to the beach on Sunday. It is telling the routine of Sean that he goes to beach every Sunday. You sing very well. Now you is a second person and therefore we won't add es or s in the main verb form. Okay. Now we will take another example. Children often play video games after school. Now, children, it is not talking about one particular person, it is talking about many. It is talking about more than one. And therefore, we won't write plays, we'll write only play. Okay? Now, if I have to give you an example of a general fact, I can say water boils at 100 °C. So you all know that water boils at 100 °C. That is a fact. Okay. Now we will move ahead so that you will get a proper picture of what exactly is simple present tense and how many types of sentences we have. So first we studied about simple present tense, that is, if you all have paid attention about do and does. So I mentioned you all when to use es and when not to use anything. Okay. The second one is present continuous tense. If you all have forgotten, I would like to repeat it again. If if they tell you all to convert the sentence into continuous, then the main verb will have ing. And over here, in present continuous tense, the helping verb will be is, am, and are. So, if it is for the first person, or you all can say if it is for like I, then you have to use am. If it is for the second person, if it is for the third person, he, she, or it, then you all have to use helping word as is. And if it is you, we, they, then you have to use the word helping verb are. Okay, I repeat it once again. Continuous tense, we have to make the main verb plus ing. For example, reading, walking, sleeping. And before that, the helping verb, if it is talking about only me, I, then you have to use only am. If it is talking about some person, he or she or it, then you have to use is. If it is talking about you, we, they, then you have to use the word are. Okay. Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, in present continuous tense, the main verb will also add ing along with it. And if it is talking about me, then the helping word am will be used. If it is talking about any person, then you have to use is. If it is the sentence is talking about you, we, they, then you have to make use of the helping verb are. So now let's look in the few sentences. I is a subject. The helping verb, since it is I, you're using am, and the main verb over here is coming. Okay. So you all have taken ing as a helping verb. Then let's move ahead. She. Now since it is she, you all have to use the helping verb is. Very good. I am encouraging you all so that even you all must be thinking, okay, now she is there, so you all have to write is. So she is preparing for examinations. She is the subject. Is your helping verb. Preparing is the main verb's first form plus ing for examination. Examination over here is the object. Okay. You. Now since you have come, which word will you use as a helping verb? Are. So you are looking beautiful. Let's move to the next sentence. If the particular sentence is a negative sentence, then you have to add no or not. Okay. Now see, I. Now I have come. So you have to write the helping verb am. I am not coming with you. Okay. Now let's move ahead. They are not writing letters. Now they are there. So you are using the word are. So they are is the helping word over here. Not is a negative sentence. Okay, not is a negative sentence. Writing the main verb and you have add ing and letters. So sometimes we get negative sentence. So negative sentences consist of no, not, none, never. Okay. So if this kind of sentences also come, you all have to see whether am, are, is there, and if that is mentioned in the sentence, then this particular sentence is present. It consists of present continuous tense. Okay, I hope I am clearing out your doubts. Okay, now also we get to see sentences which has a question mark, interrogative sentence. Even if there are interrogative sentence, don't worry. Once you get, once you all see the word are, am, is, then you all should understand that this particular sentence is of present continuous tense. Okay, and if even if they tell you all to convert a particular sentence into present continuous tense, then you all have to make help of the helping word as is, am, are. Depends upon whether it is talking about he or she, they. Okay, then WH questions are, where are you going tonight? Okay, which phone are you using? Now, since are is there, that means it is talking about some person, you. Okay, and therefore we have used the word are. Okay, and see, going ing is written, using ing is written. Okay, I hope you all understood present continuous tense. Just keep in mind, it consists of main verb plus ing and the helping verb. Take a screenshot of it and you all will remember forever. We have completed simple present tense. Simple present tense, when to use s and es. Then in present continuous tense, main verb first form plus ing and helping verb, that is, am and are. So now we will move ahead in present perfect tense, which consists of main verb third form ed, en, that, and it also consists of has or have. So in a particular sentence, if they tell you all to convert the sentence into present perfect tense, then you all have to make use of the helping verb has and have. When to use have? When the particular sentence is talking only about a single person. So you have to use has. And when it is talking about more, then you have to use have. And if the person is talking about me, I, then you have to use have. Okay. Also in present perfect continuous tense we will see later. Just for now, present perfect tense, you all pay attention. Now we will move ahead. But let's first recall everything. First we had studied simple present tense. Over there, what is the trick to remember if they tell you all to convert the sentence into simple present tense? Subject plus verb first form plus object, and if that particular sentence is talking about third person, then only we have to use after the verb es or s. Okay. For example, I watch videos. Over here, there is no third person and therefore we did not add es or s. Then another example, Dad goes office. Over here, we have added es because it is talking about the third person. Then we move ahead to present continuous tense, which basically means that the work is going on. It has not yet completed. Okay, and therefore the helping verb over here is am and are, and I have mentioned when to use which helping verb. So over there we had subject plus is slash am slash are plus main verb plus ing plus object. Okay, and now we will be studying present perfect tense. Over here we have to make use of main verb third form, that is ed, en, all those words. Okay, and as I have mentioned before, when to use has when the particular sentence is a singular sentence, and when we have to use have when it is more than one, and also when a sentence starts from I, you all have to use the word have. Okay, now let's look at few of the examples. Over here, present perfect tense, we have to first have a subject plus has or have plus main verb third form plus object. Over here, since it is I, so I have written have. I have eaten. Eaten is the main verb third form plus object. Object is food. Okay. The second sentence is he. He has met you. So he is a name of a particular person. Okay, it is not they. If it was they, then it would have been they have met you. So they means it is talking more than one person. So over here he can be any boy. It can be Raju, Rohan. Okay. So he, since it is he, it is a singular, and therefore we have used the helping verb has. Met is the main verb third form and you. Manju has cleared her examination. Manju is a name of a person. She is single. There are no many Manjus. It is only one Manju, and therefore we have used a helping verb has cleared her examination. Cleared, see, main verb third form of clear is cleared. Very good, students. I am encouraging you all because even in your mind you all must be thinking that okay, now teacher will say this, so my answer will be correct. So I am encouraging you all in every step of each sentences. The last one, children have done homework. It is talking about many children and not about single person, and therefore we have used the helping verb have over here. Have done homework. Okay, now we will move to the last present perfect continuous tense. Okay, now the last one for you all. Present perfect continuous tense, which means that whatever target is there for today is completed, but still the work needs many days to complete the entire work. For example, building a house. If today I decide that this particular room should be painted, that was my target that I have perfectly completed, but still there are many rooms to be painted. So it is known as present perfect continuous tense. Over there in this sentence, when it is present perfect continuous tense, you all have to use has and have as I have mentioned earlier, but you all have to use one more word, that is been. It can be has been or have been. This rule is same. If it is a singular, then you have to use has. If it is more than one, we have to use have been, and if the sentence is consisted of I, then you have to use have. Also, now keep this in mind. Only in present perfect continuous tense, if it is telling you about exact or fixed date, timing, then you have to use since word in that sentence. If there is no proper identifying time, then you have to use for. Okay, if in that particular sentence, if they tell you all a exact date and timing, then you all have to use the word since. And if there is no proper timing given, then you all have to add for. We will see few examples. Take a screenshot, write it down in your notebook. So once you all watch this first video, again you all watch, then you all will understand properly. I know this is very difficult. If it was face to face, you all would have understood this, but now since it is remote teaching, we need to, I'm trying my level best to make it more simple. But I want you all to take down notes so that you all won't forget this. Okay, for present perfect continuous tense, the trick here to remember is first we have subject plus has or have. If it is a singular, then we have to use has. If it is more than one, have, plus main verb first form, okay, plus ing, because for continuous, you all remember we had taken help of ing. So over here also, since it is present perfect continuous tense, so we have taken the main verb first form plus ing plus object, and you can use since if they have given you exact timing or fixed timing, and for if they have not given your proper identified time. For example, I have been waiting for you since morning. Now since I'm talking about I've used the word have. Okay, so I plus I is a subject over here. Have been is the helping word. Waiting is the main verb first form plus ing for you. And why have we mentioned since? Because it is telling exactly when. It is telling us it is talking about morning. So we have used the word since. The second sentence, he has been trying for 2 days. Now he, over here, he is a boy. It is talking about one person, and therefore we have used the helping word has been. Trying is the main verb first form plus ing for 2 days. Did they give you a proper exact date saying 1st July 2020? No, and therefore we used the word for over here. Okay, the next sentence is your son has not been coming to school for 2 days. Over here also, which 2 days you don't know, and therefore you have added the word for. Then we see that over here, your son. Now it is talking about a particular son, one son, and therefore we have written has. Has not, since it is a negative sentence, so we have added not been coming to school for 2 days. Now which 2 days did they mention you? No, and therefore we have added for. Then Priyanka has not been learning her lesson since evening. So they have given you exact day. Now exact and over here we can also use since if it is talking about morning, evening and night on a particular day. we can use the word since. I forgot to mention you all. And also in the above sentence, if it is any of the 3 days, any of the 3 timings of one single day, you all can use the word since. Okay, I hope you all understood till here. I'll repeat it again. For present perfect continuous tense, you have to make use of subject plus have slash have plus been plus verb first form plus ing plus object, and when to use since and for. Since is the exact timing, the fixed timing that is given. It can be also any of the 3 timings, whether morning, evening, night. If any of these words are mentioned, you all can use since. And if indefinite time is given, you all have to use for. Okay, look at these examples, take down notes so that you all will understand in a better way. Okay, so check your understanding. This is for you all, but I will solve for you all little, then half you all have to solve. Transform the given sentence based on the instruction given in the bracket. She had seen what Ira had kept in the cupboard. Now you all have to transform this sentence into present continuous tense. Now present continuous tense, come on, start recollecting. What is present continuous tense? You all have to make use of which words? Is, am, are, and main verb plus ing plus object. And you all know when to use which verb. When to use is, when to use am, when to use are. Okay, now see over here. She had seen what Ira had kept in the cupboard. Now she is there. So now which helping verb you will use? Very good, is. So your sentence will be she is. Now what is the main verb over here? Seen. So what will be the main verb first form plus ing? Seeing. Very good. She is seeing what Ira had is there. So now what will come over here? Is keeping, kept. What will be the first main verb plus ing? Keeping in the cupboard. I'll repeat the answer for you all. She is seeing what Ira had. If I will write had, then it will be past tense. So is. Now why we used is? Because it is talking about a particular person. Yes or no? See, or in the ahead of, before also we had, instead of had we used is, because it is talking about a girl, she, and therefore as I have mentioned, if it is he, she, or it, we have to use is. So she is seeing what Ira is keeping in the cupboard. Now let's move ahead. I have been meeting him in the afternoon. Over here you have to convert the sentence into simple present tense. Now, simple present tense, subject plus verb first form plus object. Now over here it is talking about one. It is not talking about the third person. It is talking about only one person, I. So I, what will be the first main verb first form of meeting? Met. I met him in the afternoon. I hope you all understood at least this much. You all need to write all the possible tricks I have given you all, because it will be very helpful for you all for examples. You all can search more on internet. You all will get more examples so that you all can convert it. So once we will start with our homework, that time I will give you all more examples so that you all can solve. Okay, now we will take few more examples. Now you all have to fill in the blanks with correct form of tenses of the verb as indicated in the bracket. God dash man and send woman to earth to share the joy and sorrow of life equally. Present perfect tense. Now present perfect tense consists of has or have. And if it is a singular person, then what we have to use? If it is a singular person, then has. If it is more than one, then have. So what will come here? Now God is one, right? So God has, what will come? Save. It will come send only. God has sent man and woman to the earth to share the joy and sorrows of life equally. Now the next one. Poverty level dash. Present continuous tense. Over here, what will we use is am or are? We will use are. Why we will use are? Because it is talking about many. So poverty levels are falling. The next two you will solve. Okay, I hope you all understood this much. If there are any doubts, you all can ask me. This is the simplest way I can teach you all so that you all will understand it in a better way. I will repeat once again in just a run through so that you all will get a proper idea of it. Okay, so what all we studied today? We studied present tense and the four aspects, that is simple present, present continuous perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. As I have mentioned earlier, what is a tense? A tense is it tells where exactly which incident had taken place, when it has taken place, whether it has taken place in the past, present, or future. Then we moved ahead with the three pillars of our tense grammar, that is the sentence structure, then the base form of verb, and the grammatic person. And that was very important, and you all have to understand it. What is exactly a first person, then what is exactly the second person, and what are exactly the third person. Then we moved ahead to simple present tense. Simple present tense basically talks about habits, general facts. It also talks about routines. And if that particular sentence is consisting of a third person, then we have to make use of the add es or s. But for simple present tense, you'll just have to add subject plus verb first form plus object. And if that particular sentence is talking about third person, then subject plus verb add es plus object. Then we moved ahead with present continuous tense, where we came to know when to use is, am, and are, and also main verb plus ing. So the present continuous tense will be subject plus is slash am slash are plus verb plus ing plus object. Okay, and as I mentioned you all, when to use is when sentence consists of he, she, it, and when to use am when the sentence consists of I, and when you have to use you, we, they when the sentence is you, we, they, then you have to use the helping verb are. Okay, and in present perfect, that means already done. Okay, we have to use subject plus have or have plus verb third form, main verb third form, that is ed, en plus object. And for present perfect continuous tense, what we have to use? We have to use has or have plus been. Okay, for present perfect continuous tense you have to use been, but not for present perfect. Okay, for present perfect continuous tense you have to use the word been plus verb first form plus ing plus object. So you all know when to use has and when to use have. Has you all have to use when it is a singular, and more than one you all have to use have. Okay, I hope you all understood present tense. The next video we will complete past and future tense. Okay.